This will be my non-spoiler review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. If you enjoyed this video today, feel free to like and subscribe for future Marvel content. This will be my non-spoiler review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so you do not have to worry about spoilers. So overall, I thought the movie was great. I would say I'd probably give it at least an 8 out of 10, probably an 8 to an 8.5. I don't know, I would really have to think about it. One of the things that did annoy me about the movie was I'm kind of getting annoyed because I feel like the beginnings of all of these new MCU movies in terms of like all of Phase 4 and Phase 5 and stuff, I feel like most of these movies have a very rushed beginning, and I feel like this was no different. I wouldn't say it's very rushed, but it just kind of felt odd and out of place in my opinion. I feel like if there was like an additional 2-minute scene or something to give a little more exposition on what's happening and stuff like that, obviously without going into detail, I feel like it would have benefited it. But yeah, again, it just felt kind of rushed in comparison to, like, I felt the beginning of Doctor Strange was rushed, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania I felt was rushed, No Way Home at parts I felt was rushed as well. I just feel like there's a trend of a bunch of these movies having rushed parts, especially Thor: Love and Thunder, and I feel like it's starting to do a disservice for these movies, on me at least. And I did feel the same way about these movies when I saw them for the first time as well. But this is like the first time where I was kind of annoyed by the fact that I felt it was rushed at the beginning, just because I felt it had happened so many times. But that's my personal opinion. I don't think it took away from the overall movie. And the reason for that is because the rest of the movie I thought was really good. I thought the dynamic between all of the Guardians was done really well. They definitely feel like a family, I would say, more than ever before. Gamora being in the movie, I feel like they did what they could with what happened with Infinity War and Endgame, and I think they did what they could very well in terms of how they could move forward with that story. I feel like everybody has some chance to shine in this movie, although the main character, I would say, is Rocket. We delve really into Rocket's backstory and stuff like that, and it's really heart-wrenching, and it's done very, very well. So the focus on Rocket's backstory and stuff was really cool to see, and how they expanded on the universe as well, and how we just get to see more and more cool stuff in just the cosmic side of the MCU. I always like everything with that, with the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Galaxy, I would say, has been some of my favorite movies in the MCU. I don't know if I would say it's the best trilogy, but I would say it's close. I would say it's between Guardians of the Galaxy and the Spider-Man movies. But I honestly think Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the best trilogy in my opinion. That's not to say that, you know, the Cap trilogy or the Iron Man trilogy is bad. Obviously, it's not at all. But I just think the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy has consistently good movies, and the Iron Man and Cap trilogy, it's not that they have a bad movie, but I feel like more movies carry more weight in those trilogies. Like, for example, Captain America Civil War carries a lot more weight in that trilogy than the first Captain America movie, in my opinion. So that's kind of just the point that I'm getting at. The villain, the High Evolutionary, was absolutely fantastic. Probably one of the best villains in the MCU now. And he was really just like a villain, if that makes sense. Like, there wasn't really any redeeming quality. He was just outright evil, and that was kind of refreshing to see as well, because I feel like it's been a little bit, I wouldn't say that entirely, but the MCU's been on kind of a track with having villains that you might be able to relate to, and I would not say that is the case with the High Evolutionary. He is just straight up a villain. The introduction for Adam Warlock, I would say, was done well as well. Some people may or may not agree, especially if they're comic fans, but, you know, that just remains to be seen. I feel like what they did with Adam Warlock was the best they could do for beginning his story and stuff like that, but I did enjoy Will Poulter's rendition of Adam Warlock, and I think he'll be good going forward as well. And yeah, honestly, in terms of a non-spoiler review, I'm not entirely sure what else I can really say about the movie right now, but the movie does a great job at what it does. It's very heart-wrenching, it's very emotional, it's very loving, and it's just done really well. It has great action scenes in it, especially for a Guardians movie. Not that Guardians movies ever had bad action sequences, but I would say this movie probably has one of the best action sequences in the MCU now, and it's a hallway scene, so that's kind of, I think hallway scenes are undefeated, especially ever since Daredevil on Netflix. I feel like the hallway scenes are always great, and there's a great hallway scene in this movie, and I just really think everything is done pretty well, besides my main beef at the beginning of the movie being that I felt like it was rushed. So I would say it's at least an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. Might be even more, but that's all I really have to say about it in a non-spoiler fashion. So comment down below if you enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, if you've seen it already, or if you're excited to see it. If you enjoyed this video today, feel free to like and subscribe for future Marvel content, and I appreciate you for watching the video.